Hello and welcome to more Bound by Flame with me, Oni Black Mage. Alright, so, what we did is we came to the cave leading up to the hideout where the source of all the possession of the villagers, turning them into zombies in Valvenor, and we came up to the entrance and the demon warned us, hey, what's in there is going to possess you too, and I can prevent that from happening if you put me in the driver's seat, and I'm choosing to now make the choice which will vary the path of how the story goes, in which I'm choosing not to allow the demon more control over me. So I am going to be in control, and I'm going to take the human option of how to resolve this issue, which now it's sending me back all the way to Valvenor to find another solution. Which means I gotta hack and slash my way all the way back there, because this time it did not choose to fast travel me back. So I'm gonna take a little opportunity right now to just, I guess, collect the experience on my way back to Valvenor, and, maybe we'll talk about something else, just to occupy the time. Let's see, what's recent? Big news, actually, that I think a lot of people by now are very aware of, and that is the fact that if you're a Pokemon fan, then you probably are aware of the fact that Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, which came out over 10 years ago, is now being re-released for the Nintendo 3DS, which is really, really big news for them. It begs a lot of questions, though. First of all, let me put my history with Pokemon. I started early generation on the Game Boy, so I was there for Pokemon Blue, and I actually made the deliberate decision to get, or at least beg my mom at the time, for picking up a Game Boy Color, so that way when Pokemon Yellow came out, I had that there. And same thing for Gold and Silver. Now, Gold and Silver, I'm going to flat out say it, is the best achievement in Pokemon, the entire franchise, hands down. And if you have to play Heart Gold, Soul Silver as your only option for playing it these days, do so. It is easily the best installment in Pokemon so far. And the reason why is kind of the same effort that they put in towards the original Final Fantasy, which helped create such a legacy. They thought that Pokemon Gold Silver, the second one, Pokemon 2, was going to be the last one. Because despite the success of the first one, they're kind of like, well, we kind of did everything we could. There's not much else we can really do to grow this thing. I mean, we're making lots of money, so let's just keep, why do I change it? Why fix it? Why do much? But they changed and improved so much. They added so much. They redid the type table. They redid the movesets. They redid the art style. They redid they added 2 different types, Steel and Dark. They added breeding. They added EV training. They added Pokemon moods. They added genders. They added shinies. They added legendary events. They added so much. They added both regions. They added growth. They promoted the story. They did more in that game to promote and grow the series, or actually at the time it was just one other game, than any other effort I've seen. It was truly one of the best sequels made of all time. It not only took everything that was great in the first game, but expanded on it, improved it, and added so much more, while at the same time continuing everything, and flawlessly. So very, very well done. And then, what they chose to do is, when they were making the transition to the Game Boy Advance, they decided to reboot the series. Not everybody knows this, but Gen 3 is actually reboots. So the series technically ends. There's like the first wave of Pokemon was technically the first 2 generations, and Generation 3 onward is a reboot version of Pokemon. And with the reboot, they did a lot of different changes. They changed how moves work. They changed how Pokemon could evolve. They changed a few different subtle details. They added a few things, but with the addition of Hoenn, they retconned a lot of stuff as well. So the version Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red are actually retcons of the reboots. So now they established to where Fire Red and Leaf Green take place at the same time as Ruby and Sapphire. That's how it is in the new reboot universe. I know, it's like almost we're talking about comic books now, we're talking about universes now. But that's how it is in that version. And so they retconned a lot of stuff to where a lot of the changes that they made in Ruby and Sapphire now reflect and are apparently now the official canon for how the series works. Which is why when you play a lot of older school Pokemon games, the first and second gen, it does not work the way that the modern gens work these days. And even then, I think they changed how everything worked after Diamond and Pearl 2. They redid the mechanics and stuff like that. which I'm okay with because I prefer the mechanics that they graduated into X and Y. Speaking of which, X and Y, hands down, since the modern day reboot version of this universe of Pokemon, I'd have to say X and Y is the best one so far. They've gotten progressively better, but not necessarily like handstand, like heads and shoulders above any installment. Because after Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl was good, but it wasn't like, you know, super great in terms of, wow, this brought a lot to the table and stuff like that. It was decent. It was just a good game, but it didn't really change all that much. The inclusion of different games like Return of like Pokemon Coliseum and stuff like that was fine. Then when they did Black and White, I actually kind of felt was not all that great. Like, it was a fun game, but I didn't feel it was like I'm really moving stuff. I felt like the series was starting to get a little lazy in terms of its events. Like, when you compare how much of a jump Gold and Silver made from Red, Blue, Green, Yellow, it's just, wow, oceans apart. While this one is just like, we're taking a few steps. They didn't change. Like, everything felt shallow. It was a very shallow change. It was still a fun game. Fantastic. I still love all of them. There hasn't been a bad Pokemon game. And by that, I mean the same thing where, I mean other games. I mean the main series. I'm not talking about spin-offs. There's some crazy spin-offs out there. Where was I? But yeah, then Black and White. And then Black and White 2, which felt even more shallow. It's like, the sequel that they're doing, actually, the story in Black and White 2 is actually one of the stronger ones out there. But, it's just, story-wise, Black and White was probably one of the stronger of the reboots. But then comes along X and Y, and wow, I felt that they did it right. They made changes. They did this. They did not quite the full amount of effort, but they added a lot of stuff. Redid the whole system all over again, and redid a lot of things in a better way, way more convenient. The game is less tedious now. You can get to the fun parts of the game immediately. They did so much right from a game design perspective. That X and Y, fantastic. And if they're going to redo Ruby and Sapphire in the same way that they did Fire Red and Leaf Green, in so much that the new canon is now X and Y, then this is technically the third reboot now. Because, think about it, Ruby and Sapphire are reboots to coincide with Red, Blue, Yellow, or Red, Blue, Green. And at that same time, that means that X and Y, which is rebooted and redid the system again, in which how Pokemon grow, evolve, and now with the types and stuff like that, and how moves work, that is now the new reboot universe. Which means we're now in our third phase of Pokemon. Which means X and Y is now going to coincide with Ruby and Sapphire, which now coincides with Red, Blue, Green. So it's like, okay, that kind of begs the question. Which actually, no, it doesn't beg the question, because in X and Y we saw a lot of Pokemon from the first generation now there. I mean, all the Mega Evolutions and stuff like that are now perfectly canon. So yeah, this is, I think, the third reboot of Pokemon, and it kind of snuck up on us. I didn't realize that it was a reboot this entire time, but Ruby and Sapphire kind of confirms it. This is now a third reboot. And you know what? Given the amount of excellence that Ruby and Sapphire portrayed, I'm okay with that. Ruby and Sapphire was a first entry for Pokemon for a lot of people, but it wasn't for me. Especially for a lot of people that are into the series. You know, if you're among the 30 million people that played the first, that's not an exaggeration, by the way. The Pokemon is among, if not the most best-selling RPG for consoles. It has like 30 million units sold. No joke. So if you're among those 30 million veterans that came back, and this, like, you know, Ruby Sapphire was your third skirmish into the Pokemon world, then great. But for a lot of people, and I thought that was interesting, a lot of people, Ruby Sapphire was their first one. So because of their first one, because they broke their Pokemon Cherry with Ruby and Sapphire, that to them, that's the best one. And I can understand that perspective. A lot of people are like that. They have this attachment to their very first girlfriend there. So, for that being said, I imagine it's going to be a huge advent. What I find curious is that, okay, Pokemon announcing those two games a month before E3, before even Nintendo's Direct that they plan on doing, not in E3 but coinciding around the same time. If they decided this announcement needed to be leaked a month early, they couldn't wait, in a positive sort of manner, I think that, wow, that probably means they have an even bigger card up their sleeve that they're willing to play. And for me, that had better be the new Zelda U, whatever it's going to be. The new HD Zelda U, whatever it's going to be. If they announce that, awesome. Fantastic. I am super excited for that. But by the way, enough of Nintendo and Zelda and Pokemon. Back to here. So I turned in a lot of the quests there. I gave back the guys carts. I gave back the guys things. And now what we're doing is checking over here to speak to this guy over here to talk about a cure. Or at least a remedy to prevent my mind from getting possessed. And I could swap out my teammates, but I'm going to keep Edwin with this because part of the quest says you need to investigate this with Edwin, so I'm going to do that.
Something is
funny you're asking. Turns out I started working on a potion to help you fight the... But its effects should also help you against an...
I need it right away. The safety of the village depends on it.
I made 2 doses.
I happen to have 2 doses here. What a coincidence. I happen to need it for 2 people. Alright, mental protection potion. Here we go. Now I gotta run all the way back, don't I? Yes, I do. Okay, time for another story. Let's talk more Nintendo. Man, Nintendo. You need some work on your Wii U, I gotta tell you. I know you've heard that a million times. I know you know that. But my gosh, I have more fingers than the number of games that you're basically putting out first party this year. It's kind of a crying shame, though. There's a few things that I feel that console can really do to improve its livelihood. A lot of people are decrying and don't understand the big picture, though, where Nintendo is. A lot of people say because they had a bad year and because the Wii U is basically a flop and because the sales figure went down this year, it's like, oh, that's it, Nintendo's dying, they need to move to mobile. I wouldn't go that far. A lot of you don't seem to remember the fact that, look this up because this is a true fact, Nintendo is a $1 trillion company. Allow me to say that slower for effect. Trillion. That is a lot of zeros past billion. 3 more to be precise. So yes, they can have a bad year, they can have like 5 more failed consoles if they wanted to, and they are still going to be fine. Maybe not as fine, but they're still going to be fine. Nintendo is here to stay. When you have a $1 trillion company, it doesn't just die when you lose a couple billion. Trust me, it really doesn't. I'm no business expert, even I can call that. So they are here to stay. They also have the richest stable of first-party IP. Period. You slap Pokemon or Mario or Zelda on anything, it sells. Period. That's brand power. They have that impact. They've had 30 years of success. Having 1 or 2 bad years is not that big of a deal. They are sitting on a mountain of gold. So, I'm not too worried about what they are. A lot of people want them to streamline and go with a lot of other stuff. Again, part of the reason Nintendo is the way that they are is because they were innovative and they don't do what everybody else is doing. That's part of the reason why they're so successful. When they invented the DS with touch and swipe controls, the mobile market took that and made touch and swipe controls. The DS did it first, then mobile markets took it and made mobile markets. It's kind of funny that way. Then they made avatars, and everybody has to have avatars now. And then they made motion controls, and everybody's still trying to sell us on motion controls. So it's like, they've always been an innovator. So leave them alone. They know what they're doing. They may not be successful all the time. Nobody's perfect. But they're doing just fine. They'll survive. They're not going anywhere soon. They said that they're not going to announce another console at E3 this year, which is fine, because that means they're either going to try to focus on more games, which I know they obviously know that they need more of. And they might just be refining more of their system, perhaps. All I know is, between PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, I play games. People often want people to pick like one console versus another. I don't see the advantage in that. I play games. Wherever it is, I play games. I play RPGs especially. I got sloppy there too. But yeah, it's like, I will play games wherever they appear. If the RPG I want to play is PlayStation only, for example, Drakengard 3 or Mugen Souls Z, which both come out on the same day this month, which is about a little close to like 2 weeks from now, then yeah, absolutely, I will play that on the PlayStation. If, you know, let me sneak up on this guy. Xbox has a couple exclusives, I'm gonna play it on there, no problem. Or like when a multiplayer game comes out, Xbox has a larger online community, or people that perhaps I want to play with, and my friends are mostly on there, so I'm going to play on the Xbox. If it's a cross-platform thing, I'm just gonna do that. You know, first-party games that Nintendo brings, I'm gonna buy your console for first-party titles. I don't have a problem with that. Usually a lot of people have a hard time admitting that the fact that they're not gonna get multiple platforms is usually due to a lack of money. And that's okay, just say, I don't have the money to afford multiple consoles, so I have to choose. But don't let your choice define you in that manner. Yeah, you had to choose, but just choosing one over the other is not the same thing as choosing right versus wrong. The choice you made was a choice of priority. That's completely different. That doesn't mean that the other choosing something else is wrong and what you chose was right. You just make it a choice. It's like choosing. It's like, so, what do you want to put on your toast? You know, strawberry jam or grape jam? You're just making a choice there. It's not saying that strawberry is wrong and grape is right. That's such a silly, juvenile way of looking at it. And yet that, when you go to any forum of fanboys, that's what you're going to find is this arbitrary division of gamers. And I've gone over that before, but it keeps coming back to that. Just immaturity at work. It's okay. Just say you don't have enough money for all the consoles. It's cool. That's fine. Nobody blames you. But saying that the reason you chose this is because these 20 reasons why it's technologically at that point you're getting defensive and trying to judge and trying to defend your choice as if it is a correct choice and you not choosing that would have been wrong. You're getting into that zone, and that is why you are wrong. Is because you're acting like there's a right versus wrong to begin with. When there isn't. Just play games. It's cool, man. Just play games. Just play games. Just like this, like I can play Bound by Flame on any of the consoles except for Xbox One though, and it wouldn't have mattered. I'm playing on the Xbox because my Xbox is the easiest one to record from, honestly. So that's why I'm doing that. Recording on the PlayStation 4 is twitchy, honestly, ironically, because Twitch streams are sometimes interrupted and the recording doesn't work so well. The PlayStation 3 doesn't cooperate very well with most recording technology because of the weird encoding it does. For some odd reason, the Xbox 360 works very simply. Just connect it and it works. You don't have to worry about a lot of fandangling. Although I will note that there is an audio lag on my recording device, but that's purely my device, so whatever. What I appreciate PlayStation for having is a lot of the Japanese RPG exclusives that they have, like the Atelier series, you know, the Mugen series, most anything by Nippon Ichi. Atlas has a lot of exclusives on there. You know, Exceed. A lot of the RPG companies, they usually have a lot of PlayStation exclusive titles, and that's what I'll play it on. Man, crits when they're on fire do a lot, I have to say. I'm very pleased with that. Ooh, I thought that was going to knock me back. Apparently I could block that. There we go. Stay down. I find myself looking at the ground a lot in this to make sure I didn't miss over any shinies. One of the things I dislike about E3 is a lot of the politics that come with it. There were a lot of politics last E3. My gosh. People are always like, consoles that aren't even out, like that whole thing saying, yeah, one system won, the other system won. Like, the systems haven't even come out yet. And they're going to stay around for another 8-9 years, just like these are. Actually, they're still making games for the 360 and PlayStation 3 into next year, so I think they succeeded in their 10-year life cycle. We have 10-year life cycle consoles, guys. And you're arguing in the first month who quote-unquote won this race? Are you joking me? Seriously? Man, talk about immature. I'm like, I don't care about all this stuff because just like last time, we're going to have like a dozen different versions of these consoles come out over the next few years with different memory sizes and different chip specs and different this and that. And I'm probably going to pick up another different spec one down the line too. Just like I had to get the slim version PS3 and then get the slim version 360 and all that. You know, get the special edition Wii U with the better memory. You know, it's like, that's fine. I'm just going to pick up another console later anyway. And all I care about is what games will I be playing. I don't buy a console just to stare at the console and claim that I have a console. I'm buying a game, you know? So show me the games. At this point, I'm mostly just collecting extra experience. I feel by the time that I'm level 15, this area is so much different from when I was running in here at level 8. And it doesn't feel that different either, because your health and your magic do not go up with your levels at all. So you're operating on the exact same level of stats that you've always had. The only thing that really changes is this is an equipment-based game, so the only thing that's progressed is my defensive equipment, and actually I've had this axe for a super long time, so yeah. What you're seeing is a reflection of how good you're getting in the game, not per se your stats overcompensating your skill. I like that because I do not like RPGs where you can replace items with skill. I hate that. I sincerely hate that. Where, especially if you're playing in a multiplayer environment, somebody can get by who's significantly less skilled just by having superior equipment. I don't like that. There are many RPGs and MMOs that do that, especially the quote-unquote free-to-play, which are actually just pay-to-win ones. I hate those. Hate those with a passion. I always feel skill should be the most pivotal asset of any RPG. So that's why games, and even other categories, the less skill that's required, like empirically, the less skill that's required, the less technical it is, the less of a fan I become of it. I don't want things to get super technical, mind you, where it gets to be just tedious and complicated, but I want it to where it's more than just one button press. Like I said before, I think when I was playing Dark Souls 2, one of the reasons I take a point off for the way modern beat-em-ups are handled after the Batman Arkham series is all the Batman Arkham series is just mashing the attack button. You can play that game blindfolded. You can teach a dog to play that game. And that to me does not reflect how well that game is designed. I think for a combat system, it's relatively weak. Because you press one button, all of a sudden, you know, he's flipping around doing this and doing all this stuff for you. That's not you. You're not doing that. The game is doing that because you're just mashing a button. That's not the same thing. That's why there are other significantly better, more precise technical beat-em-ups out there that are overlooked because they're viewed as too complicated, too technical. Anyway, new area. So, we're entering the cave, so we need to confront the cave creature. We just drank the mind elixir, and it's a good thing I don't need a torch because I give my own ambient light because I'm a fireman, apparently. I could turn off the torch, but why would I? Alright, more of these zombies here. Oh, treasure up there. Just noticed that. Archers, by the way, you really should take a priority because archers hurt in this game a lot. I think Relmar actually would probably be one of the stronger. He could probably be stronger than Redvar because archery in this game is super strong. Nice, I can climb up here. Okay, that wasn't that great, but the gold is appreciated. Also, refined metal, that's really useful. Keep in mind, you can also get more refined metal and stuff like that by actually crafting it. You just go in your menu and just craft it from lesser metal, like scrap metal and stuff like that. But I'm avoiding crafting as long as I can until I can get the crafting feats. Just save myself the effort. Be more economical with it. Yep, still finding better and better gear. For free. From other chumps who apparently came here and died. Actually, I think this cleaver dagger is the one that the zombies are using. I think I see them holding it. Alright, so I'm guessing these are just two routes that wrap up to the same area. I guess it doesn't really matter then which way I go. Let's see. Alright, there's a big guy lumbering my way over here. and quite a few of those shieldy guys. This is an open area too, so there could be more enemies past this mist that I'm unaware of. So I'm gonna make quick work of this guy, because he'll be trouble, because he can spit like nearly every fat zombie in every game can apparently do. Spitting fat guys apparently is just a thing these days. Ah, yep. Oh wow, there's multiple archers back there. That was bad. I almost bit it just there. Alright, get rid of this, and get rid of the support. God, 2 archers. That was a pain. Nice crit. And there we go. Oh, I can't collect that. I think that means there's another enemy lurking right up. There he is. Our eyes glow in the dark. That's kind of cool. Killed the 2-handed zombie. He was really slow, and done. Alright. Let's loot. Alright. More loot around here. Okay. Ooh, more commando stuff. I like the commando armor set so far. It's pretty good. Okay, given how there's so much gear dropping for resistance to magic, I'm pretty sure I should wear the resistance to magic stuff. Even though it's a little less in terms of defense, there's a lot of anti-magic gear, so I get the feeling that this monster who's using his magic to possess people probably uses magic to attack, as logic denotes. This game actually is somewhat following logic too, so I'm gonna go ahead and play to that. I think there's an unexplored avenue over here. I don't think I went to this entire area. Yep, there's enemies. Okay. Perfect. This whole area seems to circle around, so I'm just going to do a quick lap. Clean up any enemies. There could be a chest or 2 around here, like over there, I see. And yeah, free work experience, I'm okay with that. I'm pretty sure with the experience I'm getting from here that I probably should level up after the boss. Nice. I got plus 18 experience. I just noticed from something. I think it's from blocking, right? So I think you earn experience if you block properly. I never noticed that before. Explosive spewer. All right. Guessing that means this dude blows up if he takes too much damage. Oh boy. Yup. He's an explosive spewer. Alright, note to self, finish off at a ranged. Out of range. Okay, let's see. Okay, that wasn't the best loot, but I'll take it. And I think... Oh, Legendaire's helmet. Never mind, that was good. Nice. Alright, let's run back again, down, let's do a quick circle, and I believe this is the whole loop. Yep, back here. Okay, perfect. No choice now but to sprint for the boss. Alright, now just to be safe, I probably should save. This is definitely a boss area. Or the autosave can take over, that's fine too. I do like how these are not pre-rendered cutscenes so much to where it shows me wearing like default gear. It actually shows me wearing the the weapons and the armor that I'm actually wearing right now. I like that. There are too many games right now that that use pre-rendered cutscenes to show off like really good graphics and put that in the trailer and stuff like that. I think when graphics are fine, you know, just use what you have on you. Alright, so definitely some sort of winged demon here. Alright, glad I brought the ranged one. Alright, so as I can remember, it looks like in this one, it's going to be like with versus the Juggernaut. He's just probably going to infinitely summon minions, so the main focus is to kill him ASAP. Alright, he doesn't deal too much damage, actually. Yeah, he shoots fireballs. That's probably the main damage there. Okay, good. Stagger. Perfect.
You must be right. So if you've got a message to deliver, you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
The Tormentor, huh? Alright.
Forget it. I came down here to do 2 things. Look for mushrooms and kick somebody's ass.
I like how there's dialogue going up on
I ain't found any mushrooms.
on the same time while we're fighting right now. I kind of like that. It adds a little bit to the atmosphere. Ouch, this is getting close. My magic can't replenish fast enough as I want to blast him. Fire Orb is definitely my best attack. He seems to be pretty weak to that as well. Okay, he's charging up something. Ooh, pentagram with a laser. Alright, so when he forms a pentagram, it shoots a laser, and you don't have enough time to dodge that quite, per se. Oh, crap, I'm out. Alright, I almost have him. Oh! Oh, wow, it's crit. Perfect. Stagger. Alright, almost have it. Let me just try to replenish my health. One more hit, and I can get him. Alright, there's that laser again. Actually, let me pause combat and craft. Because while he's charging his laser, I'm going to try to heal. Oh, really? His laser shot through the wall. Ah, come on. Okay, well, new strategy. I'm just going to run in, make sure I have enough mana potions, and I'm just going to shoot fireball after fireball. Because if I can land those crits, I have basically like a 30% chance of critting, which is really good. Really good. It's almost 1 out of 3 chance of basically critting with fireballs. And if I hit fireballs, it deal double damage and do extra fireballs. So I'm just going to just launch fireball after fireball against this guy. Yeah, shoot your lasers, it's fine. Perfect dodge, alright, let's see. Bam, crit, perfect. Crit again! Ooh! This is good.
Oh yeah, I don't hear your voice in my head. You must have figured that out. So if you've got a message to
One more.
you're gonna have to do it.
Bam, another crit. See how that was done in like 30 seconds or less. That's what I'm talking about. Best defense was a better offense. That's right. Take care of that Tormentor. You know, you can just stand there, Edwin. It's cool. I got this. That's right. You better behead him while you still have the chance. Are we still talking? Come on.
You've won a victory, mortal. The dead walkers come.
What do you mean, my pathetic little village? I don't want any part of that village, trust me.
And soon will
My business with them is done. I didn't even get paid.
I fall. But dozens of new brothers and sisters will rise from
Reward you for what? Dying?
the Dark Lords will raise me up again. And they will reward me.
Well, your Ice Lords have never messed with
Oh, the old one-liner.
now, have they?
If you listen to the rabble who actually live in the swamps, we should head back to the village now.
Yep.
If he was right, and a general is directing...
Thanks for your limited help, though.
only your
Appreciate it.
power could stop them.
Alright, level up, and we are going to pause here and pick it up next time. Just be the Tormentor, so thanks for watching. Once again, please leave a comment and like if you can, and subscribe for more videos daily for Bound by Flame. Thanks for watching. Bye.